We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
All right. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Welcome to gospelrhythms.com, Talk Live Radio, and LATalkLive.com, where we're more than just talk. We are heaven's party
here on earth.
Yeah, I'm Ron Williams.
And I am Trisha Mann Grant. Hello and happy Sunday to everybody. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining us. We know you could be doing anything else, but you're with us and we appreciate that. And we have a treat for you today. So you do definitely want to stick around. And I'm telling you, you're going to get an earful from our guest today who came all the way from Philadelphia to be with us. So before we get to that, let's do a recap on last week.
Yeah, I mean, we had a house full of folk here, kids, biblical films representing,
yes.
And Isaiah J. White, director of his first, talking about his first directorial debut with a theatrical and soon-to-be web series project. Wonderful, Weird, Wild, Wonderful Days of Schools.
That's a mouthful.
Days of School. It's like a tongue twister.
It's a tongue twister.
Weird, Wild, Wonderful Days of School. Weird, Wild, Wonderful Days of School. But anyway, we have images of just the love of the that was in the house, the talented of kids and the diversity of their heart and their talents and their gifts. Man, it's definitely a show you should go back and check out, especially if you're in the Los Angeles area or not and you want to find out how to get plugged in with the biblical films vision. There's every way, of course, always sow a seed monetarily, but then you may want to bring their vision to your corner of the world in Australia, Germany, Africa, points and beyond,
South
New Zealand.
America.
They got kids everywhere. It's one constant. So, and we also had Denver Dowdridge in the house.
Denver Dowdridge, we love you. Yes.
And so, he made a brief appearance, but it was really Isaiah's moment because he was really excited and it was amazing to see him, his heart to learn and grow. Sometimes in this business of entertainment we want to jump from the role of wanting to do something to being the director, but he kind of worked his way up through the ranks, being the editor and just doing whatever he could do to support the vision behind the scenes. And finally a door opened up and he got an opportunity to direct. And the word says the diligent prosper, so sometimes you have to understand the concept.
I should be real prosperous.
Postponed gratification and trusting that in Proverbs, when it does say many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord that determines the outcome. So you have to just trust God.
Yeah, and just, to take a little shift on a sad note, my sister over here, Ro, just lost someone very precious to her. And so we just want to give the family of
Veronica Holmes. I was going to save it to the end, but you got a picture of her up that I put up. It's just me and her. Yeah, and I to that respect, not to take away from the excitement that we had, Les, it was a lot of love in house. But, in your business about doing, whether it's God's business, family business, one of the sad tragedies about my story with my girlfriend, we actually stopped talking for something stupid. But Veronica, she was such a vivacious spirit. She'd always just put you on friendship timeout. So I just figured I was on friendship timeout, and when she was ready to come around and allow me to be back in the fold, it would be good. But and to find out that she was gone and I didn't get a chance to say goodbye was very, very sad for myself. Sometimes you take the commodity of time for granted. You don't have time, and when you hear the story today, you may even get a greater appreciation, including myself, for the commodity of time. But at the end of the day, keep a short list.
Call somebody.
Yeah,
pick up the phone and call someone close to you or someone that you haven't talked to in a long time. And if they cross your mind, don't go, oh, I'll do it later, because I've been in that situation before where I said I'll do it later, and then my play dad Mitchum, he passed away, and I meant to call him again or try to go see him in Chicago, and then he was gone. So you guys,
sometimes the unction is, there may be relationships you can't call, but you can pray.
Right.
You know, if you get an unction to think about a person that come across your mind, don't take that thought for granted, because you just never know. I remember the lady that I met going to church with you that one Sunday who was suicidal, and she committed suicide. Like, you never know when their last time, the person's last time that you're going to say. And the thing is, she was only 2 years older than me, and when we met doing background work, you know, and she was.
Oh, you're talking about someone else. I thought you were talking about Cindy when I took Cindy to church.
No, I'm talking about a couple people. Just the whole concept of never knowing when's the last time you're going to see somebody.
Yeah,
and if you sometimes you know they're in a bad way, and you just kind of like, or sometimes you don't. Right. You know, I mean, but if you can't do anything else, just try to keep a prayer list with those people that may have fallen on the sidelines or out of your life for reasons they don't want to be in your life. So at least you can say, I wish that I would at least had a knowledge of her situation and to have been able to pray, intercede on her behalf, so that you know. And I can't say, well, will my prayers made a difference? I don't know.
Of course, all prayers make a difference. All prayers make and our guest today, Jordan, he just lost his grandmother, and then right after that, a friend, and 3 days after that, his barber. So I'm just thankful he actually had the strength to come today, and we're going to give him a proper introduction. But we don't mention this to make you guys depressed out there. We're mentioning this because life is short, and we can't take people for granted. We cannot take each other for granted. We cannot allow our pride to get in the way and stop us from doing something that our heart is telling us we should do. So if you have to put that pride in the back seat and, you know, go ahead and take control, then do that and make that phone call or phone calls. It could be multiple people. So, yeah.
And I just want to share one last thing, too, because, you know, God, he definitely sees around corners. And when, you know, last week was a very challenging week in and of itself. But I remember before, you know, and this was like mid during the week, I just sat down and opened my Bible, and I was just, Lord, can you please just give me a word? And I opened my Bible, and, you know, I write dates in the field of when I get a particular scripture, and it was Isaiah 41:10, and it was highlighted, and in the scripture it said, brokenhearted, no finances, mom dying. And so it says, this is what it says. And I love what the Amplified version says, but this is the NIV. It says, so do not fear. And I always like to insert my name, Rosina. For I am with you. That's God. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. And the Amplified version says, I will harden you to difficulties. But here it says, I will strengthen and help you. Wow. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. All who rage against you will surely be ashamed and disgraced. Those who oppose you will be as nothing and perish. Those you search for your enemies, though you search for your enemies, you will not find them. Those who wage war against you will be as nothing. For I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you. And, you know, I was going through a lot of other things last week that had to do, you know, he felt, you know, pressure on a job, pressure with the bills. I mean, it could come. The battle could come in all. It could become a form of an illness, and we'll talk about with our guests later the health challenges. But God fights our battles, you know. And I love the fact that He just keeps it simple, stupid. Take your hand, and I will help you. You don't remember nothing. I will help you. For us, I will help you. And that was what held me and kept me strengthened and hardened me to difficulties. And I got that word before Friday, and I got to tell you, by the end of the week. I was glad I made it. I felt like Marvin Sapp. So glad I made it. Anyway.
Oh, don't make me cry, girl. Stop it. All right. We got somebody. Are we going to have a commercial break? Or are we going to
we got it. We're gonna go to commercial.
He's got a plethora of people out there waiting for us to stop talking so they can see him. And they're ready to call in. And we got all kind of folks out there just, you know, waiting to see this man, because this young man has been through a lot. I mean, more than you and I put together, and even Veneric here.
And I love the fact that, had you not told me that, had I not seen a picture of the scar, I love how God it's like there's a song that says, I don't look like what I've been through.
Right.
He don't
Jordan
look
Brooks
like
does not
what
look
he
like
been through.
what he's
Okay.
been through. And let me tell you something.
That's encouraging me up in here. That's a ministry right there.
We met over the phone, and he actually reached out to me via Instagram about writing his book with him. And so we just started talking, and his spirit is so consistently beautiful and amazing, and I cannot wait for all of you all to witness it. I even don't want to go to commercial break, but I know we got to pay the bills, right?
Yeah.
Man, I hate that. So make sure you guys stick around, because I'm telling you, let me just give you this snippet. He died twice. Came on back. And he also saved a woman from getting killed on the train track, just seconds. And that story is in the Reader's Digest. If you don't mind passing me that book, sis. The Reader's Digest. And also there's so many people out there that we know of by celebrity name that are interested in, this is his story. I go, now you got to keep this thing nice. What's going on here? It's all ripped.
That's all right. That's our Bible. Our Bible should be looking like
You've
this.
been reading this, Reader's. Here, you go ahead and find the page for me. So when we come back, we can even, just look at that. But the bottom line is, it's an amazing story, and we can't wait to share more with you. And it's just even more than that. So, hey, you're watching Gospel Rhythms. This is LA Talk Live. And I am Trisha Mann Grant.
I'm Ro Williams.
And listen, we're going to be right back, so don't you go anywhere.
Yeah,
okay?
tweet, Instagram, Facebook, call to action.
You got to see Jordan Briggs.
Invite people to the party.
But God's in it, you don't gotta chase dreams. You need to check us out and see what we mean.
Catch the vision.
Okay.
Heaven's party. Here on earth, make it play. Gospel rhythms. Catch the vision. Heaven's party. Here on earth.
We got singers, rap.
Hello, I'm Joel Ramirez.
And I'm Lolita Robinson Coppage, and welcome to Joy in My House
on LATalkLive.com. Inspirational radio
with a touch of recovery.
A reality show where nothing is left unsaid
and no one is insignificant who says it.
Exclusively on LATalkLive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B or watch us on Ustream TV.
Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
You're listening to the Van Eric Rock Show. I'm your host, Van Eric, daily, Monday through Friday, here only on LA Talk Live. We're more than just talk.
Hey, this is Trisha Mann Grant, and I am inviting you to join us every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Gospel Rhythms Heaven's Party here on Earth. And join us as we talk to the Christians, just not any Christian, but all Christians of entertainment and all walks of life. Don't forget to tune in to Gospel Rhythms Heaven's Party here on Earth every Sunday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, exclusively on latalklive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B, Live 365, Radio Flag, TuneIn Radio, AHA Radio, TiVo Radio, and Apple TV Radio. Or watch and listen directly at latalklive.com. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hey, Hey, what's up? Welcome back. This is gospelrhythms.com, Talk Live Radio. That was Leandra Johnson. I don't look like what I've been through, okay?
I don't think any of us do. You look good to me, girl.
Girl, that's the blood, the grace, the blood, and all of the above.
Yes. All right, y'all. So listen, there's a young man who definitely does not look like what he's been through, as Rose said earlier, and it is the truth. And I'm telling you, even when he was 4, we're going to talk about this some more, but when he was 4, he got hit, and then he got older, and something tragic happened to him. And then we're going to start off with the woman that he saved off the railroad track, because that's what made him real popular in his hometown. And he is the sweetest person I have met yet. Oh, besides you, Ro Williams. Yeah, he really is. His name, let's give him a wonderful introduction. We want to bring to you to Los Angeles, California, all the way from Philadelphia, Mr. Jordan.
Oh, that's
all the way from where? All the way from Delaware by way of Vegas.
Yeah.
Delaware.
That's right, because you went to Vegas.
Yeah, I moved to Vegas from Delaware. I was in Philadelphia. I made sure I got a little closer to the West Coast, man. Had a change of scenery,
Right.
Now your story is so rich.
Yes,
I just want to give our viewers a little taste of the foundation.
Yeah.
Like, did you have a connection with the Lord at the time before your life turned that corner, or were you out there in the world doing your own thing? Were you raised by 2 parents, 1 parent? Give us a snapshot of what it was like before all hell broke loose in your life.
Well, I can say, to be honest, probably from the very beginning, there was chaos. So it was having a single mother, having a grandmother who actually played the mom role, was a supportive cast that I really needed, and I never know, how important somebody is until until you're in a situation where you can look back on it, or they're not here anymore. So it all started when I was on life support for the second time. I woke up. I had a decision to make, and that was the corner you're probably talking about. And I was either I was gonna try to find myself, or B, find out why God kept me.
Now, how old were you?
This was when I was 20 years old.
So leading up to 20 years old, did you have a personal relationship with the Lord, or were you just out there?
No.
So you were raised up?
Yeah, Christian. Went to church every Sunday school, and grandma dragged me along to church with her. If not, I was getting sent to church. But I was faithful with church. I actually grew up in a church. I work for Urban Promise Ministry, which is like a worldwide ministry that help with after school programs and summer camps and stuff like that. So I always accepted help because it made me want to help even more. So coming from where I come from, I come from an inner city. But yes, God always been on my side.
So did you your earthly father, your natural father, did you have a relationship with him? Did you know him?
I actually don't. It's sad because he's from and live in the same city of Delaware at the time that I do. So those things that happen when it's supposed to, but unfortunately, I did not have a father.
Yeah, you mentioned, because in our talks you talked about your brother being like a dad to you.
Yeah, he was my idol. He definitely was somebody I look up to, as in just the protection, the love, the family bond that he would keep and make sure that it was what it didn't look like.
Now, I also know that you said that you took a shift into the bad behavior before Mama shipped you out here to your sister, and you took a shift because something tragic happened to your brother.
Yes.
And this is before you got sick at the age of 20.
No, because that was before. 98. My brother was shot once in the head by his so-called best friend at that time, and he was on life support. And my mom had to make a decision, and so they ended up pulling his plug. But I lost somebody I thought, what I just mentioned, the protection, the family bond, the love, and so I had nowhere I could find really guidance.
How old were you when he passed?
I was about 10 years old, maybe 11 years old. So he when he passed, it it made me go into like a protection mode. You know, I wanted to protect anybody I seen. You know, I was fighting the bullies. I was, I was protecting my sisters in all her situations and anything like that. You know, I have a lot of sisters, but yeah, my frustrations came out of losing my brother. So it was just, I was lost. I was young. I was lost.
So Mama said, you going with your sister?
Oh, yeah.
just for the, because we live in a different time. What did acting out look like back then?
Acting out look like back then is
because today is like joining the gang, selling drugs, things. So
acting out for me was just fighting a lot, having temper tantrums and demeanors and not really being a kid. I was I felt like I was grown, and so being out all night to the hour, but I also went to school every day. I also played basketball and football. I also went to church. I had the right battery. Right. I just wasn't using my potential at the time.
Right. Mm-hmm. So mom shipped you out.
But you got better though when you came out here, right? You kind of got it together.
I got it. I got it together. I got it together. I went to Frick Middle School in Oakland, California, east side of Oakland.
Sure
to the Bay. And I played basketball. I won a state championship. Also became, got a state MVP. So it started making me realize that, a change of scenery could be better, but also a change of attitude.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's a good one. Change the scenery, change the attitude.
Yeah.
Now, Mama unfortunately pulled the plug on Big Brother, but right before they were about to make the decision to pull the plug on you the second time you were on life support, and we'll go and rewind back to the first time.
Yeah, please, because I'm like, you just skipped the whole lot.
No, I know. We're going to be flip-flopping back and forth, you guys, so try to stay with us. The second time you were on life support, they were coming in the room and you could hear them, right? Was that it, or you just knew about the story that they were talking about? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do this, and then you miraculously woke up.
Yeah, it was a extremely amazing thing that God did for me and my family and everybody that prayed for me. I was on life support. I had no idea how long I was asleep. I didn't know I was on there for 3 weeks and 3 days. I actually woke up thinking it was the next day. So, for them to tell me that they was forced with making a decision, my mom was asked about 3 times, and my family was asked about 3 or 4 times to pull the plug because they believe I had no chance,
and we need to give some backstory as to what even led you there, because you kind of jumped in and you're on life support, so there's a whole bunch. So if you could just give us the backstory, that you're healthy, you're living life, you're doing your thing. What was the thing that precipitated you even ended up in the hospital?
So once I finished high school, I wanted to go to school and college, of course. So I put I always put myself in that type of, because I had to depend on myself. So I moved from Delaware to North Carolina. When I got down there, it was all about school. So I ended up working and having a house, and it took some time for me to get into college. And so after that, I got attacked. Let's just keep it simple. I got attacked. I got attacked. I got stabbed 5 times, once in the heart, and was placed on life support. Rushed to the hospital.
Was this as a result of you just
this
walking down the street?
No, this happened basically. It's like if I know you and you had company with you and you come to my house to say, you would like to watch a football game, and I acknowledge your friend and I acknowledge you, and then we get into a conversation for some reason. I mean, I have the reason. The reason is because he said he didn't like the way I carry myself, but he didn't know me from a can of paint, because if he did, he wouldn't have had made that decision. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he didn't even give me a chance, actually, and there was something wrong with him,
Right. If I remember, you were having a barbecue, you and some friends, and at the time your girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
And then a friend of yours came with this guy in the car, and they wanted you to do something either for them or with them.
Yeah, they did. They just wanted to come hang out. But it was I had the company that I had wasn't not okay for me to she in there dancing, having a dance and stuff like that.
It's just not the right
so
time.
It wasn't the right time.
So you declined.
So I said no. now.
And the guy that you didn't know got angry, but he knew of you. He had already previously known of you. So it was more like to me, from the story he told me in the past, it's more like a hateration kind of
I didn't know
crime.
this guy. Like I said, I probably seen him before, but I actually didn't know this guy.
And so all this took place after you had been shipped off to Oakland for school. You
No,
graduated,
this is
you
when
came
I went
back.
from Delaware and went to North Carolina to start college and start school. And so about almost a year later is when I got attacked, and that's when I was placed on life support for getting stabbed the way I did.
Okay.
Now you had mentioned that like you had anger management issues because like you would just. Do you think that also played any part to antagonizing the situation?
Well,
if you were to honestly reflect
yeah,
back?
to be honest, I think it was.
'Cause some people black out. They be
Nah.
like, I don't know what I said.
No,
I don't know what I did.
I always tell the truth because it's gonna help somebody.
Yeah.
So for to be honest, I mean, it probably had more about where I was from and the way I will, from up north type of
East Coast,
swag.
West Coast beef.
Yeah, like up north swag into the South, and to me, I was just confident about what I was trying to do. So that can be looked upon the wrong way by somebody who was thinking the way he was thinking.
Yeah, he was ready.
Well, he was
came there.
thinking.
No. He, to me, the way you told me the story before, he came there ready to do something because he already had the weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the minute that you said no, had you said yes, we still don't know whether he would have done it in the house
to somebody else
or to someone else,
And-
right?
yeah.
And so the minute you said no, that was enough reason for him to just take out the blade and come up to you. And even your friend was like, "What are you doing, man?" So the friend didn't know about it. He was like, "Stop! What are you doing?"
Well, you know how they say hindsight is 20/20. Reflecting back, because as a parent whose son is about to go into the world and deal with different people and a daughter, like when you think of walking with God and praying, we feel we have discerning spirits because we came through a lot and discerned a lot, and we even got a little cut by some of the stuff that we wasn't quite up on discerning, whether it be relationships or job situations. Would you say that you had an inkling that something wasn't right, but you assuaged to just being a hospitable individual, or you just didn't see it coming at all?
I actually didn't see it coming at all. I didn't see it because if I did see it coming, I would put myself in a better situation.
Yeah, gotcha.
And,
you wouldn't have expected that.
Well, when I say that, I mean like you kind of like, well, I really didn't like the vibe of this individual.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. Exactly.
Yeah,
the vibe definitely rubbed me the wrong way
initially.
But I'm from the inner city, so I try to not
judge.
Judge.
And you still didn't expect that. But let's fast forward let's fast forward to you being in the hospital. Them about to make a decision to pull the plug on you after this guy stabbed you. How many times did he stab you?
About 5 times. Once in the heart.
5 times, and then I remember you saying you stumbled to a car. Yeah. And who found you? Someone walking down the street
it was
saw
a friend that I actually helped get a job.
Okay.
That's the way God worked. I was in a suburban neighborhood. I wasn't in the inner city when I got attacked. I was actually living in my own home, 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, next to retired people in the suburbs.
You're in a nice area, and here comes this knucklehead.
Yeah, I'm working. So, like I said, that persona alone probably could make somebody,
hate on
hatred.
you.
Exactly, because I'm young with that.
Now, do you when you were calling the scenario, set it up because you have people there, but yet somebody found you? So was it you guys he was there and had to reap the benefits of being there the whole time, and then was like, hey bro, can I have a word with you a moment, and then walked out because he got 5 in and nobody jumped in to pull him off?
There was nobody there except for the barber. The barber was in shock.
Exactly, he was just in shock.
Right.
He was actually trying to scream and get anybody attention he could, but he was really just in shock. He didn't know what was going on, and for me, it was just trying to focus on getting away from my home instead of going into my home, because who knows what could have happened.
Do you recall the inciting incident that precipitated him to do that? Like, was it what was the catalyst to make him snap?
I don't know, because I was focused on talking to my barber and answering his questions.
So he just was crazy.
He had exactly. He had it in his head. Hopefully, he become a better person. But it was something wrong with him.
Well, sometimes too, like gang members, they don't have to have a reason. They just have an agenda to go out and make their mark to do something stupid like that and to say that they did. Like,
Right.
he just might have wanted to get free room and board again, for all we know.
Yeah.
And just get back into the system and find a boyfriend.
It
You
seemed
just never know.
premeditated to me.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
back to the hospital.
Yeah.
All right. So, you wake up just when they're about to make this decision about pulling the plug on you. Is that how that happened?
Yeah, I actually woke up 2 hours before they had to make a decision of the last possible decision to help me breathe on my own, because I wasn't breathing on my own at all for the whole 3 weeks and 3 days. Just the machine was keeping me alive.
Wow. You were in a coma.
I was in a coma. So they thought about cutting a hole in my throat and or whatever. And there 2 hours before that, I ended up waking up my sisters and begged the doctors and no, he need his voice, he really needed his voice, but it was just the way God worked, because waking up 2 hours before that last procedure was just like,
so they were gonna do it. Okay. Amen. Now when you were 4 years old, you wanted to go with the little girl that was kind of watching the kids at the daycare, and your mama just dropped you off. And so she said, I'm going. Did someone send her to get something? You said, can I go?
Yeah.
And what happened after that?
Being a kid, 4 years old, I wanted to go to the store too. You who go to the store? I want to go. So, I wanted to go. We went outside and we ran to the corner, raced to the corner. She was about 13. I was 4 at the time. And then when we stopped, she said, no, keep going. I'm like, no, there's a freeway right there. And she pushed me.
You had more sense than
she pushed me. And once I got pushed into the freeway, I got hit by a car, 2 broken legs, 2 broken ribs, a punctured lung, and was in a coma for a week, body cast for about 3 months.
So just recap the timeline, because y'all all over the place.
I got you.
Okay.
So it all started with, I was at 4 years old, I got pushed in the freeway and was on life support for a week and had to learn how to walk again. And then when I became 20 years old and I tried to make a difference, by going to school and doing the right thing, I was stabbed 5 times and placed on life support for 3 weeks and 3 days, and waking up, I had to learn how to walk and talk again. So for to go on life support twice, I'm just extremely blessed. But that's due to everybody that prayed for me, because it was people that thought I passed. It was people putting rest in peace up and stuff like that. So the power from people that think I passed and the power for the people that think I'm still here, that was enough energy to me to believe that that's what helped wake me up.
And in between time, you lost your brother, who was like a dad to you.
I lost a lot. I lost a lot of family and friends, but I realize now that life is precious. So I try to take those losses and turn them into strengths, because they are devastating.
So what kept you from, first of all, just at that young age, reflecting back, kept you from being angry? Because my girlfriend, I was told she was just very angry at the end. And you not even knowing that wasn't the end, but from all the facts lined up seemed to say that it was. I mean, it's like, God, somebody put a hit out on me on age 4, Dad. You're like, you tired having these conversations with the Lord, like, you got a hit out on me. I mean, I thought I had a purpose, and that purpose wasn't to be a bullseye. Right now, I'm feeling like my purpose is to be a bullseye. I'm dodging this, I'm dodging that, I'm dodging the other. I'm like, yo, Jesus, what's up?
I definitely was wondering when I would catch my break, and I really feel like now is when I caught my break, because I stayed consistent with believing that, when I woke up, you're right, I was angry. I was angry at everything and everybody, because I couldn't understand why me. Why somebody who, love giving, love loving, love, trying to lead, will be in that situation. And so I was, I could have made a Tupac decision and just, and been, been crazy and reacted the wrong way, or I had to do it with my grandmother and my mom. I had to think about all them people that was going through it for those 4 weeks, that not knowing if I would make it or not. So I had to give them a chance. I had to give myself a chance, and also find out why God kept me before I would just donate, my life.
And the grandma that you're referring to is the one that just recently passed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and man, and my grandmother, she was the heart and soul, and just the inspiration. She is the battery at the back of my family. So she, came down there and prayed and let people know. She had the most energy in the whole hospital, and so when she passed, that was extremely, extremely devastating. She just passed on the 16th of this month. I mean, we buried her on the 16th. She passed on the 16th of this month. I'm sorry, but she She definitely was my heart.
What was the main thing that you remember her instilling in you?
Before, I could never answer why I was the way I was. Like, I never could tell somebody what, I could bring up all the stories I've been through and all the, obstacles I had to hurdle. But for the most part, I could never put a pin on it. And then when she passed and I was there by her side 24 hours before she actually went, I was right there. I was right there praying with her. And then I got to see me. I was like, wow, everything I could think about is what I'm thinking about in you. Being strong, always having a smile on her face, people not being able to tell what she been through, what she have or what she don't have. So, I just seen all of me in her.
What's your relationship like with Mom?
My mom, I love my mom. It's just, it could be better, but I love her. I would never take anything away from her being my mother, because she had to make some decisions during my lifetime as well that helped me become the man that I am today.
I think that was a good call when she sent you here.
Yeah.
To your sister.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me about the night you got here. You said you were terrified, and you called your mama right away, like, I got to come back home.
It's East Oakland. I mean, coming from where I'm coming from,
Delaware,
it's already
East Oakland. Do the math.
I mean,
safe, not so safe.
Yeah, every city got a hood, right? So I'm from Wilmington.
Y'all hood is like.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's like
prairies.
Yeah, no. Like be like, yo,
little
ruff, the dogs, the chickens, the cows, moo moo, gang cow.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, every city.
You said the prairies
has a inner city, but
So what happened that night? You were driving. She picked you up from the airport.
Picked me up from the airport. Asked me to go in. We made our first stop near the house. She said, "Go in the store and grab me some drink and some chips for the kids and stuff." So I go in there. I'm only about 14 at this time, and I see his mother. She's standing outside. She's crying. She's holding her son picture, and there's about 8 or 9 gunshot holes in the wall. And I'm not knowing why these, I see the candles lit. I don't know if it happened today, a week ago. I don't know. She just coming back for memorial. I don't know. So I walk out and I say, is everything okay? She like, my son. And then they, let me know that just happened. It happened a few hours beforehand. Wow. So it was so deep that.
Wow, what an introduction.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to Oakland
Raiders. Yeah. So
I won't want to scare everybody in other countries.
But I gotta tell you,
I
mean, I hope you guys are following, because it's a lot of jumping around. But it's almost as if at 14, that's what you saw, and it's like your journey. Because everything that God allows you to experience, it's not for no reason. Like, you put it away. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For a reason.
Absolutely right. Because I think about that every night. I think about, like you said, if it's always has been something drastic and dramatic in my life when it comes to trying to, from for being on life support, pushing the freeway and losing my brother, and then like you said, losing friends and losing family. So when you see stuff like that and then it keeps happening, you're trying to figure out why God is sending these type of signals and signs into your life, and you really might not get it until you want to get it. Like, you had to actually put yourself with the Lord, put yourself in the mind frame to be able to accept what He's trying to tell you. So I had to looking back on it, you kind of see that it was things that He was trying to let me know beforehand, and unfortunately I didn't get it until I woke up off of life support the second time.
Wow. Now, how old were you when you saved the lady from the train? We want to kind of go back to that day and you going past that train, and even if you want to bring up your best friend that also passed away. But let's go, because we want to. I know it's time passes so quickly, but I want everyone to understand that even though you got so much press and so much attention from saving this woman off the train track just seconds before the train came, which could have been your third time on life support,
last time on planet Earth.
God really was. The angels were with you that day, but everyone was paying that so much attention, but in your mind you were thinking, you guys have no idea what I've been through, and that was
the most exciting, most most exciting thing that probably ever happened to me, because like I said, I was giving God a chance. I was giving everybody a chance to figure out why he kept me here, right? So I woke up, my first thing I said to myself, I had a prayer, and I said, God, just please put me in a position to repay you. I don't know why you woke me up or why I'm still here, but the looks of it to everybody, the way it looks like I wasn't supposed to be here. And you got me here, so please put me in a position to repay you. So imagine 11 months later, or a year, 13 months later, you making worldwide news. You on Reader's Digest. You on every network, and they're praising you for saving somebody's life, but yet my life was just saved. So that was that was the blessing, to be able to have my life saved, and then I could save somebody else's life. So
take us there. Take us to that moment right before that happened, and even the young men that you saw, the fraternity guys.
Yeah, fraternity guys. Yeah, I was just getting my legs under me. I remember it took me a whole long time from wheelchairs to learn how to walk and talk and stuff like that. So I was just feeling like, I'm about to come back. I'm about to be healthy.
Wait, real quick. Is this the second time or the first time? Because I still missed.
All right.
Missed.
We're gonna do this.
I still missed how you got on life support the second time, because we talked about.
He told it. He spoke. Okay, so here we go.
I got the first time was when I got pushed in
4 years old.
At 4.
At 4. Oh, okay.
Then, when I was.
Okay, then I missed that.
Yeah. If you stay off that computer.
Well, no, I'm trying to get information. Y'all all over the place. I'm trying to follow the trail of crumbs.
We were. So for everyone in row, at 4 years old, he was pushed into the freeway, and then he was on life support for a week, and then woke up. You were in a coma, and then went through just a lot of life losses from family and friends and people very close to you, and all kinds of situations. Then mama brought you out here, or made you come out here, and then you kind of got things together, and then you went back for college, and then by 20 he ended up being stabbed by someone who came with a friend of his to his house for a barbecue he was having.
Was on life support for 3 weeks and 3 days
for life support.
And so after that, that's when I was in a position to jump in front of this train and save a life. I was walking down the street, and I was minding my business, going to my friend's house, and there's a track like literally maybe 60 seconds away from his front door. And so as I'm walking towards his house, I see a car parked on the railroad track, and I see the brake lights. So I'm not knowing exactly what's going on, but she was stuck in the car. She thought she was in a pothole. She made the wrong turn right onto the railroad track. She was about 60-something years old, so it was late night. And so I just went over there actually just to see if she was all right. Is everything okay?
And she fighting to get the car off the track.
And she's trying to figure out where, but at this time, I'm not thinking of a train, right? I'm thinking about how I can how I can try to help, right? So this could be anybody, grandma at this time. So I'm just thinking, and that's when I noticed the frat guys standing off to the side, and they was actually making a couple jokes there.
Were they racist jokes?
Nah, they're just jokes. Probably thinking they actually thought I was trying to move my own car. They didn't see anybody in the car, so they thought I was trying to get my own car off the track, and it just didn't look right. So I actually walked over to them and said, please come over here, help me. I need because this could be anybody, grandma, and I directed everybody to stand around the car so we can get this car probably moved off the track. But before we can really even we tried a few times, and then about 13 but when we heard the signal, we had about 13 seconds to pull her out of the car, and she was still in her seatbelt, so we got her out.
You said one of the guys stood back. He was scared, so he didn't really help.
Yeah,
he just kind of stood back and watched you.
Yeah, because you never. I was not thinking about a train coming at all.
But it's amazing because it's there. You don't hear it, you don't see it. Like I'm like, you always wonder, like, unless you want to go out, why don't people know it's time to move, like, for real?
Yeah, exactly. And see, and to me, that's how I knew something was wrong with her mentally or physically or whatever that case may be, because I told her the situation. Look,
did you see the train coming?
Yes. Oh man, that train came.
So then you was thinking about trying to get out of there, out the way.
They had no choice.
Yes, that's why you opened the door. You told me that. You also told me you had to approach her cautiously, because here you are, this African American man, and she was Caucasian, older woman, and you didn't want her to feel threatened by your presence. So you had to gently approach her at first to help her. But then when you saw the train, you opened up that door real fast. You're like, come on.
Yeah,
let's go, let's go.
Yeah.
But she gave you some resistance at first because she was trying to get a purse and everything.
Yeah, she like I said, she didn't know, she had no sense of what was going on around her, really, or how urgent the matter was at the time. She realized when she looked back on it and seen that her life was saved. It was caught on video. So it went everywhere. Everybody seen it. It stayed on the news channels for probably 3-4 days over and over again because they couldn't believe how close it came from grabbing her out of the car to that train actually hitting the car and taking the car.
Did they have video of it?
Footage?
They had footage. They took it down.
You supposed to get that footage.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to find the number to call in, because in case anybody out there had any questions or comments, but I never.
You gave the number, right?
Yeah,
you gave the number to your people. They probably just want to sit and watch you. They probably just like, man, just keep talking.
I mean, other viewers may want to call in, and I just don't know it. So
431. I knew that. 437. What's the number, Van Eric?
Yeah, Van Eric. You see us struggling over here.
He's just looking at us like, 323.
The phone number is 323-473-3100.
I don't know why I can't remember. And you know, it's 4 years and I still don't know the number.
I had all those numbers in my head, but they were all in a different order. Okay,
that just shows you how fast that times are, because it's the phones. Like back in the day, when you had to know the number on, punching it in, but now you have these cell phones. Like I don't even. If you asked me what my mother's phone number was, I'd be like, I need my phone. We'd be out of luck.
I can't stand those friends that change their number every 3 to 6 months. I'm like, who are you running from? Would you stop it? I used to memorize their numbers, and I just don't anymore. But okay, so 323-473-3100. That's it. All right. If you all want to call in now.
And also, just remember, when you're talking, all you got to do is say the phone number is below us. Like this.
Oh, it's up. It's underneath us.
Yeah,
call the number below. Yeah,
the number below us.
We already knew that.
It's right here.
Why are you trying to
see
it? Right here.
Right there.
Exactly.
Betty's.
I have to say this about, because we have a picture of his scar, and that was from when he was in the second time. Now, one of the things when we were talking off camera is that you're a organ donor. Yeah. And one of the things that I'm against is, like, I always say, heck no, because, then they'd be like, oh, I got an auntie that needs a lung, a heart, a kidney, a spleen, or something. And here, they were actually possibly prepping you to harvest your organs when they found out your heart was possibly still good for you, let alone for somebody else. A lot of people explain that.
Yeah, I feel like that either saved my life or could have took my life fast.
No,
I think it saved my life because once again they had to resuscitate me. I had to get my heart back pumping to be able to have working organs to take out. So they had my organs ready to go because I am an organ donor. Unfortunately, they didn't think that my family would stand as strong as they stood.
Let me get this straight. You on life support, but they have to take you off life support so you could die. Then they have to bring you back just to take your organs.
But that's how I go when you're an organ donor, though. You have to have a working heart for them to be able to have working organs first, and then that's when of course you go. But they had to make decision that they want to pull you off the plug, and once that decision is made, they go get your organs, and then you're pulled off of life support.
For real,
from my understanding. Yeah, so for them to have to get my heart back pumping the second time on the flat line, I feel like that was for the organs. Now having my organs out ready to be harvest that, then it was a decision made by my family. Look, just close them up because my mom couldn't go through it again.
Yeah, I'm sure
pulling
that was
another plug from her son. So it was just.
So I know she was going through it. I know her mom, and they probably were putting a little pressure on her.
Yeah,
and
like
I
said, asking her 3-4 times within those times to try, because they looked at it like I had no chance. I had no, I was.
But God.
Yeah, exactly.
But God.
But like she said,
like that.
If he's gonna die, he's gonna die on his own. If not, he's gonna hopefully he make it. And thanks to everybody praying for me.
And oftentimes
prayer is powerful.
It's really hard for them, because you look at Bobby Christina, how long they had labored over taking her off
I watched that
life
closely.
support for real. When
God bless her family. By the way.
And she was probably around the age you were when you were on life support. People don't understand. Life support is almost like the gateway to saying, we're just doing this for the family because at this point there's nothing else unless God intervenes that doctors can do medically to bring this person back from the brink of the grave.
Right.
Yeah.
And Bobby Brown, we're sending you love because you've been through a lot.
We got to just pray for these United States, because between divorces, relationships, the death of relationships, marriages, family members, just the black man walking down the street.
I don't want it to look like this has all been bad, because at the end of the day, it turned out to be extremely good.
Well, let's talk about that.
I'm making it cool to change.
All things working together.
I'm making it cool to change now. I'm making it to where, it ain't about what you've been through or where you from or how bad you had it. It's about bettering yourself and becoming a better person. Maybe for the sake of living longer, maybe for the sake of just, for your family's sake. So, it's just, to me, I don't want nobody to, beat theirself up or drain in their sorrow, because at the end of the day, God gave you strength. And if you can use that strength, you keep pushing and you'll get exactly where you're trying to get to. If not, you get close enough, but it'd be better than where you was at.
That's right.
Let's talk about this book that you guys are so inspired to bring to the public, and what you hope the ministry of where you have, of where your life has been, and this journey where you hope that this book will impact the lives of others.
So this book, working on it right now, with the lovely Miss Trisha Mann Grant.
Who's that?
She's
a writer.
About to be a co-writer. To a major book called Life is Precious. We're working on Life is Precious, Unexpected Hero, and so this book, I hope that from the age of 9 to 99, it ain't about race, it's about culture sometimes too, so I hope all cultures, all ages, could find any bit of survival of heroism, overcoming, those type of things. I hope they get so much out of it, because I have so many different stories to tell that can either relate to you or relate to somebody that or love, because life is precious, and people don't realize how precious life is until either they in a position to where they on their deathbed, or they're on their last leg, or they're ill or anything like that, or once they lose somebody they love, they realize how precious life is. So we got to take advantage of this time, because we're not here forever. So to me, it's for the people that are hindered from changing into a better person. I want to be that person that helped them understand that, look, if I've been through all of this and I can still keep a smile on my face and believe that it's going to be better and I'm going to become a better person just by, praying and believing, then at the end of the day, I believe we all can do the same.
And he means what he says. This young man is so humble. Tell everybody how old you are, first of all.
Yeah, I'm 28. I just turned 28 years old.
28, I love it.
So it ain't been that long ago since you just came out of
so young and been through it. You know what I love is how after you saved the lady, and you didn't even tell how you jumped up on the platform right before the train crashed.
That's
and
for the book.
You thought, that's for the book, but still, that's some good stuff. It's like you were like, oh my God, am I still here? Because you just jumped up on the platform and then boom, crash, boom, and it sounded like a movie or something.
Exactly.
But you didn't mention how humble you were. You went right home, right?
Yeah.
Told your friends about it.
Man, it was crazy. I went home and I'm going crazy myself. I'm trying to tell anybody that want to listen, and they looking at me like,
get out of here.
I know you've been through a lot, and maybe you need to sit there, you want some water.
And wait, how old were you when this happened?
This was a year. I was 22.
22.
About a year, 13 months after being on life support. So I remember my friends all trying to calm me down, saying, "Look, I know you've been through a lot in your life, right? But right now, you need to take it easy. What you mean, jump in front of a train?
You're not Superman.
Yeah, exactly. So
you saved the lady out the car.
Yeah, it was so serious that they actually went to the scene and had to see what was going on, because by the time they came back, it was all over the news. The guys that I asked to come help me save the lady life was all over the news, getting
they were getting all the credit.
To me, that's fine, because when I got up and I had to feel myself, make sure I had all my pieces and my limbs still here, I realized like, wow, God, I did it. I repaid you.
Did they recall that it was you? How did they find out it was you that
Oh
was
yeah,
there?
it took a lot. It took a lot of homework because my friends was like trying to tell all the newscasts because the lady wanted to meet the guy who initially came to help save
She
her
wanted
life.
to meet Mr. Jordan Ricks.
And so for a minute, for the 24 hours that went by, I was just, like I said, I was extremely humble because it was okay for them to get that, that glory, be praised for that.
Yeah.
It was okay for me because little do people know what I just went through. But once they did find me and that I was on the air and they had to get my side of the story and they realized that, I was the initiator and all this stuff, that's when it was a lot of pressure for me to, open up. And I just wish they would have told how my life was saved from me being in a position to save somebody else's life.
Yeah, what you said, that was important. But see, it was important that you did do this as well.
God wanted you to save it for the book.
Right. And God wants you to save it for the book. And so that's why you guys, you're going to be getting the book sooner than later. Let's just leave it like that.
Yes.
Sooner than later. Life is precious and unexpected. Hero.
Extremely blessed.
Yes, you are. And I'm blessed that you came into my life.
Yes.
And thank you for reaching out to me. And I cannot wait for us to get this thing done.
Thank you for bringing me out of that tunnel. I thank you for.
I think there's a story right there.
right.
Like, you just never know how God is going to connect you to the next phase of your journey. Is a setup to bless you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't even know each other. Okay,
But
faith works. You reach out, you take the faith step, and hey, if a door isn't open, then you go another way.
Yeah.
You know,
but I done lost people to cancer, to violence, to so many things that I realized that you really can't. You don't know who been through what they, like you were saying, you never know. But I also know that my situation is amazing, but somebody been through more than me. There's people out there that been through worse, and so that's what makes me want to continue to be the person I am and grow into the person I know that God made me to be.
And you also met your sister through all the stuff you went through. You met your sister on your father's side, which is how that kind of connected you with us. We'll say
That's
that
a whole nother show.
We'll say that for the book.
That's a whole nother show.
I didn't carry too many caskets to the ground. Just say that. And at the end of the day, it's not about all the losses or just the like I said, the terrible things that have happened to me. It's more like the way I prevail, the way I push, the way I believe, the way I said, you start getting accustomed to things sometimes, right? And then your insecurity will kick in to change. Change can be an insecurity. It could be hard for people to actually change.
It's uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. So for me, I was forced to do that when I was put on life support. I had to learn how to walk and talk again.
Wow.
And
you weren't even fully healed when you saved the lady from the train.
Exactly.
So that's
I wasn't
amazing.
even fully healed at all.
But in the book, he'll speak of all these amazing things he did for others. You went through a bout after getting a big, huge lump sum of money where you were just blessing people like left and right, not just monetarily, but like simple deeds, like helping the young lady who lost her boyfriend at prom the day before or 2 days before prom, and she was pregnant with his child.
They're gonna be shocked
so
when they
many
read
stories.
the book because I'm too real to be fake, and everything that I put in there
like that.
is
Too
just
real
definitely.
Now that should be the title of the book. Too real to be fake.
But I just
Life is
definitely,
precious.
I always been like this though. I always had this in me, and I always been like this, regardless to the unfortunate situations that I've been through.
I think that's the message right there, and that's a powerful one to end the show on. It's like, no matter what you go through, you don't have to, you don't have to look like what you've been through with Christ.
That's a good theme for today's
that
show.
is so important because we are going to go through something. Everybody is. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of us getting out of here alive off of planet Earth. Let's just start there.
Right.
So if you're going to end,
if
you're going to end, let's finish strong, not wrong,
right?
And impact some lives. And before you go.
Yeah,
it's cool to change. Make sure y'all love each other.
Yeah,
'cause my city getting a lot of cities, and we, with the inner cities, a lot of cities are getting sucked out of hope. Hope is being sucked out of their city, and what's missing is the love. To put back in, the love to each other, the love to believe that we can help each other, and if not, we can help ourselves. So
if we could stop hating on each other
Exactly,
and being the crab in the barrel mentality, and just help a brother or sister out and say, it's enough room for all of us.
Because it's cool to cool to tell somebody all the things you've been through and still be able to look them in the face with a smile, still be able to be the man that you want to become, that you should be.
Well, how about this?
Woman.
How about being that person is the going through, and to be able to look someone who is being blessed up and it be okay for them. You know, I find that oftentimes we, as the person on the receiving end of all of the adversity, tend not to want to celebrate those who are in their season of the upswing. But we have to know that what God has for you is for you, number one. Yeah. There's a purpose for what you're going through. So you can celebrate and still love on the other person's situation, scenario, whatever is going on, and be happy for them in spite of what you're going through. And that might be a breakthrough for your thing.
Can I tell you something? Sometimes we're so busy looking at the person on the upswing, we forget to realize that we really are being so blessed ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
And we miss our own blessings because we're so busy looking at what somebody else got.
Yeah, and
so be grateful.
You can be grateful. It ain't too late to change, because if you in a situation to where you just you can't believe it's going down, then I mean, trust me, it takes belief. It just takes enough faith. You don't got to see it to know that it's there.
Well, Jordan Ricks, we thank you. Thank you so much for coming, y'all. Put your hands together, Mr. Jordan Ricks.
I got Deandra Hicks.
I really appreciate you.
Oh, we appreciate
you. And then also my book, Amazing Testimonies. His story is going to be the featured featured story in that book, even though I have a lot of other people's testimonies. I got to get yours too, and yours too, Veneric. But Jordan Ricks going to be featured in my book as well. Thank you.
Thank you. All love.
Yes. Thank you so much. This is gospelwisdom.com Talk Live Radio Life Edition.
Hey.
Jordan Ricks, testimony realist.
Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Trisha Mann Grant.
I'm Ro Williams, and that's Leandra Johnson singing "I Don't Look Like What I've Been Through."
Amen.
Hey, see you next week.
See you next week, y'all.
Then Eric, take us home.
You to wipe every tear from your eye. 'Cause
Jesus said he'd meet us someday. Down by the riverside. Can I get a witness up in here?